and I'm watching the gun and I can't fire. I have to react. I can't fire at this suspect until he points that gun at me. Action versus reaction. Can reaction ever beat action? So when I was in Dallas Police Academy back in 1991, one thing they told us was, action beats reaction every time, and you need to be aware of it. You need to be aware of lag time because it can kill you. And the scenario that they gave us, and they demonstrated this, was a suspect, Dustin here, could have a gun down at his side, and me as the officer, I could have the bead on him, I could have the drop on him, and I could be pointing my weapon at him. But in law enforcement, what they always bake into you, and watch the hands. What do they have in them? That's what can hurt you. So the habit has always been, watch the hands, watch the hands. Oh, there's the gun. So I could have the drop on him from here, and I'm watching the gun, and I can't fire. I have to react. I can't fire at this suspect until he points that gun at me. So when he comes up to shoot, he can get his shot off before I can get my shot off. Every time, because I'm in a reactionary state. Action beats reaction. All he's got is one thought, point and shoot. I have to recognize that threat. It's coming up through my sensory nerves, my eyes in this case. Here comes that weapon. I have to process that information in my brain. Yeah, the weapon, he's throwing a gun at you, Matt. And then I have to say, hey, pull your trigger, numbnuts. And then send that signal out through my efferent nerves, my motor nerves, to pull the trigger, and it's twice as long, and he beats me. We'll give you an example of this. So again, cock, make sure we can hear the click, and I'm going to try to beat him. I'm looking at the gun. He's going to be able to beat me every time. That was a tie. I got lucky on that one. He beat me. Tie. He beat me. Tie. He beat me. Okay, so we've got some airsoft guns here. We can, use these. I'll go ahead. One way you can develop this is through the kid game, the slap game. So come on up here, Dustin. He's the bad guy. I have to react to him. Okay? And again, he's only got that one thought process. He's going to try to move and slap my hands, and I'm going to try to move them before. So go ahead. He's going to be able to beat me. So what I'm doing here, just like I'm going to look at I'm going to look at this watch, or I'm going to look at this wrist. And it's like looking at the gun. It forces me into a reactionary state, forces me into lag time. So in real time, I'm going to try to move my hands. He's hitting me every time. Okay, so the way I'm going to tell you about harnessing your reflexes, or up my reaction speed to be more like a reflex, is I'm going to use my peripheral vision. So instead of looking directly at the gun hand or what can hurt me, what I'm going to do is I'm either going to stare at the ground, and I'm going to put these in my peripheral vision. This allows me to harness my reflexes, because the same number of things have to happen in a reflex as you do in a reaction. But generally what happens is I'm walking through a field, a grasshopper flies out of the corner of my eyes, and I do a lot of things subconsciously. So what we're trying to do is use our peripheral vision to be able to harness this reflex. So when I'm here, I'm not staring directly at it. Okay. Yep. Got me a little bit. I'm beating him, okay? So what the drill would be here, if we went back to the guns, well, we can do it this way. Let's say you don't have guns. We can snap. This is my trigger finger. Snap, snap, snap. So again, if we didn't have these and I wanted to try to work on this and develop this, I'm going to stare directly at his hand, force myself into a reactionary state like that scenario I told you. Okay, he's beating me. Now what I'm going to do, this would be as if I was focusing on my front sight. I'm the officer. I recognize that he has a gun. Okay, now I'm going to focus on my front sight. I focus on my front sight, puts everything else into my peripheral vision, where hopefully I can react faster. I know the suspect has a gun. I know it can hurt me. I want to make sure if he comes at me or he raises that gun towards me, where my bullet's going to go. It may be the only shot I get at putting this guy down. So where I'm going to focus is I'm going to focus on my thumb right here, which puts everything else in the 360-degree sphere in my peripheral vision. I recognize there's a gun. Here I am. Tie, tie, beat him, tie, tie, beat him, tie, tie, beat him. So you can develop it that way as well. You got the slap game and you got the snap game. If we want to make it a little more real, we got airsoft guns here. These don't have BBs in them at this point. We're just going to try, I'm going to try to out-click him. So again, we know that if I'm staring at the gun, he can beat me. So now what I'm going to do is, instead of staring here, using peripheral vision, I'm going to stare at my front sight post, get my front sight alignment, and as soon as I see that gun come up to, hopefully, my reaction can at least tie his action. Whenever you're ready. Beat him. Beat him. Tie. I beat you? Beat him. Beat him. Beat him. Okay, so some other things to think about if we wanted to add to this is getting off the X. If he's shooting here and I can manage to fire and step off the X, I can force him to have to reorient with where I am. If he's going to try to do a follow-up shot, he's going to have to observe me moving, orient, make a decision, and then try to act. So I can force him into a reactionary state while I'm still sending rounds downrange. All right. So I've never done this before. This is the first time. These are airsoft guns. What Dustin and I are going to do is we're going to put BBs in here, and we're going to add some realism, a little stress to it. So I'm going to try to shoot him before he shoots me. So safety first. I don't know how bad these hurt. I don't want to get hit. So add a little stress, add a little realism to it. I'm locked and loaded. Are you good?
I'm live. I'm ready to go.
Woo! Okay.
How far do you want to?
Well, I think this. I don't know. We'll just keep the same distance, and we'll see what happens. So once I get ready, I'm just going to react to you. So once you see I'm up here, I'm just going to react to you, and hopefully I get my shot out before you shoot me.
All right, you ready?
Yep. All right.
Nice.
I think I beat him several times. He shot me. Not too bad, but add some stress to it. So maybe in another video, another lesson, I will share another secret that probably only a very few people know, is to even go a step further than that and defeat even that lesson that I just taught you about reaction and action. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching.